All right. Hello, my name is Myisha Danielle, and I'm a real estate professional with Goldhouse Realty. And today on Tacoma Coffee Club, we're joined by Miss Shareka Fortier, aka Moreno, founder of Wellness by Lovely, a brand that blends wellness, culture, and self-love into a growing movement. She's on a mission to help people reconnect with their mind, body, and soul, and to do it unapologetically at that. So grab your coffee, tap in, and get ready for a powerful conversation with Miss Shareka Fortier.
Yeah. Super happy to be here.
Yes. So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. So, my name is Shareka Fortier. I am a Tacoma native, born and raised, Stewart Middle School, Lincoln High School, UW graduate, go Dogs. Professionally, I serve as a chief belonging officer at one of the biggest healthcare entities in the Pacific Northwest. And in August, I launched my first business, which is called Wellness by Lovely. The mission for Wellness by Lovely is curating space to inspire complete wellness and promoting radical self-love. That's a little bit about me. I'm a mother of 3 and I'm excited to serve Tacoma.
Yes. All right. So first question, how did you get your personal heritage and early life to shape the vision behind Wellness by Lovely?
All right. I would say that my heritage greatly influences the Wellness by Lovely movement. Being raised by a village of family members, my grandmother, she was a classy woman and a beautician, and, she did makeup. And so I remember as a toddler, I was in furs and lace. And so, I started young with the lovely mantra.
Yes.
And so that greatly shaped who I was. And as a young person, I had a lot of confidence because of that. But also, I am an Afro-Latina, so I am Panamanian and Black. And so my father is Panamanian, and that greatly shapes the movement too. So my alias is Lovely Moreno. So Lovely is a childhood name that was given to me by my family. Lovely locks, because I had really long curly hair growing up. And Moreno is my family's last name. And so Lovely Moreno contributes absolutely to the Wellness by Lovely movement, sprinkled in with my my Black side of the family, my grandmother, who inspired me at a really young age to do everything with class and to be lovely. So that's what shaped this movement for me, even starting young.
I love how it started from when you were little and you just kind of sprinkled into when you got older. So reading your bio, you talk about internal equity and fierce self-love. So what do you mean by those terms, and how do you bring them into your business?
Absolutely. So when I speak about internal equity, it really has took shape from the experiences that I've had professionally. So much of my career has been dedicated to challenging systems to move in an equitable fashion, right? Creating space for people to show up authentically. And we know that historically that has not always been the case. A lot of places and spaces are not, historically built for people that look like us to shine. So professionally, all of the roles that I've held have been in alignment with that. And so it really started me thinking, about how can I apply this concept of equity, making sure everyone has what they need to thrive, to myself. And so what I noticed is, I need to be sure that I'm thriving in all the places and spaces that I occupy. And I was noticing that I wasn't, right? And sometimes it was a fault of my own, but in other times it really wasn't. And so internal equity means for me is challenging the places and spaces that I occupy to ensure that it's a space of wellness. A lot of times we navigate places and spaces and we go through the motions of just being there, even when it's harmful to us, and so I'll challenge that. So internal equity is making sure that I can thrive, making sure that where I'm at contributes to me being well overall.
Okay.
Yeah. So radical self-love, you asked about that. So when I think about radical, I think of gravity defying, So when we think about radical, we think about something above and beyond what's normal or accepted. And so I dare folks to love themselves radically. I love myself radically, and I'm doing it in a way that sometimes people don't understand. And I think one of those ways is really taking back my peace. So when I'm in a situation, an environment, whether it's friends, family, work, if it's not an environment that's conducive to me being well, me being happy, me being peaceful, I choose not to be in those spaces.
You got to protect your peace at the end of the day.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So you said with internal equity that you like to challenge things that don't really align with you. Have you ever had any pushback with that, or have you faced any challenges when doing that?
Yes. And so I would say all of us have our own unique, specific wellness journey, right? And for me, a lot of components of wellness are mental, spiritual, emotional, right? So I speak a lot about that on my website, wellnessbylovely.com. Visit it. I speak a lot about mind, body, soul alignment because truly we have to address our mental state first, right? So the biggest battle that we have to overcome is our mental space, because our mental space gives way to what we sow into our spirit of who we are. And then it manifests itself into our bodily form. So a lot of us are wondering, why am I sick? Or why am I always tired? Or why can't I seem to just keep moving? It really starts with your mental capacity. And so for me, I started to challenge my mental capacity, and I started to take ownership of my own suffering, which is really hard to do, right? A lot of times we like to blame others for the situations that we're in, but a part of radical self-love is to say, well, what part am I playing in this story that keeps projecting something that I don't want it to? And so I think that it's really important for mind, body, and soul alignment. And a big component of wellness for me is beauty. It's music, it's worship, it's culture. It's showing community that there's a better way, right? It's platforming that self-love starts with us. So
it all starts within.
Absolutely.
So I've seen that you work in the healthcare industry, but what was the shift from your earlier work into launching Wellness Enterprise? And what lit the spark for building wellness with Lovely?
Yeah. So really what built the spark for me is I wanted to curate a space for people that I love and care about to celebrate who they are in an upscale, lovely way. So I know my mission is kind of wordy, and a lot of times folks say that you say a lot of S's. So curating space to inspire complete wellness is the mission. But if we're really thinking about it, the elevator pitch is exclusive events for lovely people, right? To just celebrate who we are and show up in a way that is true to us. Yeah.
What does movement mean to you in the context of wellness?
Yeah. So I think when I say Wellness by Lovely is a movement, it means that you all are co-conspirators in the movement. Like, this isn't something that I could do alone, but I'm wanting to curate space, to pull in community, to pull in partners. So you'll notice that events that I have, they're normally partnering with someone in our community as it contributes to elevating and promoting wellness in your life. And so, I think that it's really important to include those around me. And for a long time, I was waiting for the perfect space, the perfect opportunity, the perfect invitation to really launch this line. I really thought that I had to have a physical space to, make all of this come forward. But then a lot of community started to build around me. I started sharing my ideas with a lot of stakeholders and a lot of people that I respected. And they were really encouraging just to say, just launch it. You can curate the space, curate the space. But, we need this experience. We need platforms related to self-love and making sure that wellness is something that is considered in all things that we do.
Can you share a specific moment where you felt the community around your brand coming alive?
Absolutely. I think the moment that I felt truly inspired by my community was when I started to share out my vision, and I had a call out for sponsorships. So wellness for me is beauty, it's working out, it's financial wellness, it's cultural wellness, it's music, it's worship, it's all of those different things. And so I wanted to incorporate that into the business launch that I had on August 8th. So Wellness by Lovely is only 3 months old, but thriving. But at my business launch, a lot of the folks that poured into me that contribute to my wellness showed up and they sponsored and they talked about, how they can contribute to community wellness and in astronomical amount. Like they showed up not only in spirit and in support, but they put money behind it, and to me, that meant so much to say that, what, they may not even know what this whole movement is about to be about, but they believe in me, right? And so I think that that was the moment for me where I said, okay, my community supports me and
I'm in a village behind you.
Absolutely.
Yes. All right. So we all know that launching a brand of any kind, it's not easy. And in your case, having a village behind you, that's really what propelled it to where it is today. Yes. And I know that is not easy. So what has been the biggest challenge for you that you've faced in making your vision real? Like, have you stayed authentic to your mission? How has that changed throughout the process of it all?
Yeah, great question. I think with any entrepreneurial move, there's challenges, right? And specifically that my time is very limited in multiple capacities. I'm a parent. I'm a professional. I'm also a beauty queen. Shout out Miss Globe. I'm Mrs. Washington Curvey. Super proud to represent Washington State in that capacity. But I think that what is really special about Wellness by Lovely is it aligns with every other facet of my life. So a radical change maker, allowing for people to really think about how to change systems and create spaces of belonging is what I do for my profession. And that aligns with Wellness by Lovely, like, making sure that ourselves are included in our decisions, that when we're showing up in these places, that we can show up in a way that's helpful, that's peaceful, that is, conducive of environments where we can thrive and be who we are. And in addition to that, pageantry, with the Globe pageant, we are spokeswomen, for the Women in Need Foundation, which really speaks to women who are overcoming and evolving into better versions of themselves, having fared with narcissistic abuse. And so it's really finding themselves, right? Reclaiming the love that they have for themselves to grow and move forward. So it's really beautiful how all the different types of things that I do within my professional, personal life and aspirations I have for inspiring the world, they all align perfectly. So, yeah.
So with you being in pageants, has that, how do I put this? What kind of community outreach does that have you doing for helping those women and helping their voices be heard?
Absolutely. Well, I know one of the things, actually this evening, we are going as Queen Sisters to promote the Scully Foundation, which is really helping people to reclaim independence in their lives. It really helps a lot of veterans get reacclimated into civilian life. And it really helps folks who are facing food insecurity and resource instability to find those things. Mm-hmm. And so you'll find me and a lot of my Queen Sisters serving in our community just really to help people, because I think that the biggest charge for us, be it religion, be it principle, be it value, be it ethics, is to love each other. That's it, and so you'll find us in places and spaces where we're just trying to love on each other and to evolve and become the very best versions of ourselves. I like to think of wearing the crown and being Mrs. Washington Curvey is really being an inspiration, right? I get that we are in the wave of, people wanting to be influencers, but I want to be an inspirationalist. That's what I strive for, to inspire women to really be well.
I love that. When it comes to your business, can you walk us through how you think about your business, from events to products to brand experiences, and what role each plays in delivering your vision?
Yeah, absolutely. Interesting that you say that, because I was at a store and purchasing some items, and a gentleman came up to me and he says, "How's the beauty business? How's the beauty business going?" And I said, without hesitation, "Oh, it's going well." And I started to think, I wonder if people think that I just have a lip line, or I wonder if they just think that I have this body line. Right. And so I said, wow, I need to do a better job. Like what this is, Wellness by Lovely is a movement to platform wellness, right? And so what that looks different for everyone. But what I'd like to do for every event that I have is really platform a different component of wellness. So like for my launch, it was multiple components of wellness. So I find that working out, looking great, and being spiritually and emotionally sound is important to me. So that was the first event that I did. The second event that I did last month in partnership with Megs and Mo on Proctor District was falling in love with yourself again for the fall season. And so in partnership with her, we really gave women an opportunity to come in and shop at a discounted rate for my products, her products. But really inevitably, as we were leaning into the fall season, how to fall in love with yourself through fashion, through beauty and all of those different things. So some things that are coming in the works, obviously, the holidays are coming up. So in December, we will have a lovely holiday. So stay tuned, wellnessbylovely.com or Instagram. We will be dropping hits as to what that looks like. I would love to see you all there. Also, in January and February, there will be some events for the little lovelies, for the little ladies in our life. I have an 8-year-old, and I'm always thinking about her, how I can include her in the things that I'm doing. So there will be a little lovelies love experience for girls who are between the ages of 7 and 11, which are critical time, we feel like, because they're not littles, but they're not adolescents and they're not teens. And so I feel like sometimes we miss really being able to pour into that specific age group. Right. So that's coming up. In addition to that, we will have something for the grown and experienced. So we're going to be having a love R&B and poetry night coming as well. And then looking forward to launching the Wellness by Lovely conference in the spring, probably around March. So those are things in the works.
Okay, well, keep us posted on those.
Absolutely.
Piggybacking off of your question where you said the guy was talking about beauty and his mind kind of went in one track when beauty and wellness are just like an umbrella of many different terms.
Right.
How are ways that you can get people to think differently instead of just having a one-track mind with that?
Yeah, absolutely. So I guess when you think about Wellness by Lovely, it's platforming wellness in multiple aspects. Simple.
Yeah. A simple question.
Yes, absolutely.
Right. And then when you say you aim to inspire, renewal, and complete wellness, how do you know or measure when you're succeeding? And what signs, stories, or even metrics matter most to you?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think about that a lot. I like to think that how I make a difference in the world is by changed behavior. Like, I love when people come up to me and they say, oh my gosh, this lipstick didn't come off for the whole day, and it made me feel so beautiful about myself. I love when people come up to me and say, oh my gosh, we navigated through your 30 days of wellness. This is my wellness journal, by the way. You can pick that up as well on my merch table. But I love when people come up to me and say, I'm better for walking through that journal, right? And experiencing those challenges that you are asking us to think about, how wellness is showing up. Does this contribute to my wellness? Does it detour from it? And so I think that for me, a metric of success is knowing that I inspired others to change their lives. Like I prick the minds and hearts of people to do things just a little bit different from the influence that I share. So to me, small success for me is for people to look at their lives differently and to incorporate wellness in a real way for them, to where they're making sure that they put themselves first.
I love that. So can you give us a little background of how you came up with your 30-day wellness and self-love journal and what they can expect to see in it?
Yeah, so it is a 4-week guide. There are weekly prompts. I'm not going to give spoilers. You guys have to purchase it. But it's really challenging you to incorporate wellness into your day every single day, right? So whether that's you making sure that you're resting, that you're putting your thoughts into motion, you're drinking water, right? That is important. And that you're considering the things that are around you and really promoting yourself, right? Promoting that loving you is just as important as everything else. And I think that we forget that a lot. So this is really a reminder, to put yourself first and to love on you and to give yourself grace.
Oh yeah, especially nowadays, it's super hard, especially if you have like a job, kids. Some simple task is obviously, or can be hard to remember to do at times. So yeah, that definitely can be helpful for some people out there. We've talked about it, but your brand emphasizes equity and heritage. So how do you ensure that your brand is inclusive, especially for those who might not traditionally see themselves represented in the wellness world?
Absolutely. So I will say that wellness is subjective. Just because of the ways that I celebrate wellness, does not mean that that's what your wellness journey entails. But this is truly a celebration of self-love and what that means for you, right? And so this is for everyone. Like I mentioned before, like we're tasked with loving each other. That's the greatest call that we have, in humanity, is to just love each other. But most importantly, we can't love each other appropriately if we don't love ourselves first, and so this is a call for everyone. And it's not just for women. I know that a lot of events that I've promoted, is for women, but this is a call for men too. Like, how am I applying wellness into my life? How am I practicing this? How am I moving beyond just understanding the cute sayings and applying it to my life? Because recognizing that the stories we tell ourselves, it was supplanted in our spirit and what manifests into the types of lives we live. So just really thinking about, all those different things. And this is for everybody. Mm-hmm. Everybody's included. Everybody can come. Yes. Absolutely.
And then I know equity is like a huge part of your brand. So what does that look like in practice for you?
Yes. So to me, a quick definition of equity is ensuring that you can thrive. And that means different things for different people. Right. Mm-hmm. So internal equity is what I really speak on, is how am I thriving? How can I ensure that I'm thriving in my own skin? And how can I show up authentically in the beautiful way that God made me?
I love that. Yeah. All right. And then looking ahead, what's the next big thing for Wellness by Lovely?
Yeah. So I would say the next big thing, again, would be the events that we're hosting, the Little Lovelies. It's a big thing for me that my products are on my website now. Shout out to my team for that. So that's a big thing for me. But also partnering with multiple people in the community to bring these events to life. Wellness experiences for lovely people is what the movement is about, to inspire wellness.
Yeah. If someone is looking to work with you or, just look deeper into your journey and your business, where can I find you at?
Yes. So Instagram, follow me for those who don't, Wellness by Lovely, as well as Lovely Moreno, and the wellnessbylovely.com. There is a space for you to put in your information, and someone from my team will be in contact with you. I'm also going to stick around to build connection with you all, give you my contact information. I would love to partner with you. Yeah, so it's been a true pleasure to connect with everyone today.
So is there anything else you would like to let the audience know?
Always consider your wellness. How am I well in this place and space? Is this contributing to my growth and the love that I have for myself, or is it deterring it? I would just say always continue to think about that and put yourself first, because you are no good to the world if you don't have love within your own self. Yes, that's it.
Yes. All right. So that's a wrap on today's episode of the Tacoma Coffee Club. A huge thank to Miss Shareka Fortier for sharing her story, her heart, and her vision for redefining wellness. If this conversation resonated with you, be sure to check out Wellness by Lovely and join the movement.
Thank you.
Until next time, I'm Myisha Danielle. So stay grounded, stay curious, and keep showing up for yourselves.
Absolutely.